Hello, everyone.
Hmm.
He-
Hello.
Here's my husband David and me, Joby. We're going to talk about counting days here in the U.S. So we have 33 days left to stay in the U.S. So we're moving to the Philippines for good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are. So we got a storm off the coast, and so it's raining and a little bit cooler. Kind of nice. Keeps the bugs down too, I guess. So we can sit outside and enjoy
Mhm.
a Georgia evening, summer evening, or
Mhm.
late spring evening. Be summer in a day or two, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, it's getting dark here right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's almost past by 7 o'clock p.m. So it's still like daylight, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're going to share our. Right now, we're just talking about counting days here in the U.S. Just say something, honey.
Our house in the Philippines is basically finished now. They're pouring the driveway. They actually have both sides finished down to the gate, so they'll have the gates are a little bit low. So the foreman wanted to make the driveway higher to keep the water out, and so now they have to raise the gates, which according to him is no big deal. So yeah, I'll do that. We let him go ahead with that. And what about the electric wire? When's that one going to be finished? The main power to the house.
We don't. Maybe hopefully next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be plenty of time. We have to settle on this house on the 20th of next month of July, and then on the 22nd of July,
We're leaving.
we have tickets to the Philippines, and hopefully that won't get uh, that'll go okay, and the flights won't get canceled or anything crazy. And so right now we can get in on the Balikbayan program. She has her paperwork in Washington D.C. to for her dual citizenship, but they haven't contacted us, and if they don't, we'll see if we can finish that in the Philippines. And I get my 13A visa. I took the physical already. I got the paperwork for that, and then we'll be good to go. We have to spend 10 days in quarantine in Manila. We have a little dog that we want to take, and we'll send her to hopefully arrive about the time our quarantine is finished, so we can pick her up. And then we have to fly down to the Romualdez airport in Tacloban City. Her brother will pick us up in his L300 and take us to the island where our house is. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then we have to quarantine at our new house for 4 days. And,
So we never go out there.
yeah. I don't have the air conditioning in yet. It's setting in the living room. My brother-in-law picked up some appliances we ordered: a refrigerator, the stove and oven, freestanding oven with a induction range top, and a 1.5 horsepower split type air conditioner for our bedroom. And I'll be the one to install that. I sent my HVAC tools already, and I've installed several. Yeah, no big deal. I think I can do a better job than they do because I don't even see them using a vacuum pump there. So I don't know what they're doing. But I want to install it properly. But we can make it for a couple. I mean, It's a big two-story, well, fairly big by Philippine standard. I mean, it's like 2,000 square feet, which is probably medium to in the U.S. But we can find a cool enough place to spend 4 nights because we have to quarantine there for 4 days. And her parents live on the property in a little house on the back of the property. And nieces and nephews and everybody, but they can't visit us until the 4 days is up.
Yeah.
And then we'll be free to go.
We're free to go. Yeah.
Go finish the house. Joby wants. We even we sent about 60 balikbayan boxes ahead. Most of them have arrived.
Yeah. I just started to do it. Packing on the balikbayan box back 2020. So we started that last year. So we don't do anything. So that's what we do. So until now, we have like 3 boxes left her. So that's all that we can send into the Philippines.
Yeah.
So the rest of them is already on the way to the Philippines.
Yeah.
So I still have a lot of work to do going there. So when we get there to the Philippines. So anyway, we quarantined for 4 days in our province. So right now we're just doing this. Right now.
Yeah. We sold everything practically by now. I mean, if you look around the property, that there's a carport there that the pontoon boat used to be under that. There's an RV cover there that had a motorhome under it. There's my shop, and inside of it I had a Grizzly 700cc 4-wheeler and a Yamaha Majesty scooter and a Walt mini bike, and the last thing I sold, I guess, was my utility trailer, because I sold my truck and her SUV already, so I don't need a utility trailer now because I have nothing to pull it with. And so we have and here's our little girl with the expensive ticket that we're going to send. So this is Tikla. She has to get in that country. She's a good dog most of the time, aren't you, girl? Huh? You're a good dog? Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to bring her too. So she's in a separate airplane. So probably she'll be the one to bring first. We don't know yet, but she don't have yet ticket, so we just find out.
So we have to spend after the, we'll be homeless after the July the 20th and the settlement date. You're sweetheart. But so her sister only lives right down the road, so we'll stay 2 nights at her house.
Yeah.
And then Tikla here will have to stay for at least another week with them. And I have it set up for the, we're like 2.5 hours from the airport here to Atlanta airport. And I mean, we're in the country, we're in farm country. There's nothing but cotton fields, and there's a wildlife management area just next to us. So it's really in the country. So
Yeah.
And it's pretty nice, we lived here, like 9 years so far.
Yeah, 9 years. Last June 12.
Came here from Houston, Texas. I lived in Houston for 7 years. I moved there from Delaware. Met Joby while I lived in Houston, so she was there with me for like the last 5 years.
5 years.
So then she cried when we left our house in Houston because we did a lot of work to it and had it. It was a nice house.
Yeah.
And then she'll cry when we leave this one because we did even more work here. This is 2.2 acres, and we have it's got like a little over 100 live oak trees on it with the Spanish moss hanging. Very scenic, very very nice property, but it's not as nice as the Philippines though. So.
Yeah. It's raining hard here right now, so. You guys, that's what you heard. We have thunderstorm anyway.
Yeah. And our poor hummingbird family. I hope somebody. I hope the new tenants will, or the new owners will keep feeding them like we did, because I think they started that here without their food. Even though it's raining hard, they're still coming in and getting a drink of the nectar. And then, hey girl, what you doing? Oh, yeah, you want to give me a kiss? Oh, that's cute.
Say, I love you, Daddy Dog. I love you, Daddy Dog.
But she loves this place. We have this little piece of the yard is fenced in, and it's because of her that we fenced it in. And because she just came, she was a stray dog, you know. She adopted us basically.
Yeah.
She's been a real good dog. I mean, I've had good dogs, and I'm a dog person. I've had several good dogs, but she's right up there, you know, one of the smartest. And she's a sweetheart. She loves people. I mean, she has 2 pieces of buckshot in her right hip, where somebody actually shot her, you know, with a shotgun, with a buckshot too, you know. Lucky to be alive, and she still loves people, you know. I mean, even though she was really badly mistreated before she found us, but we spoiled her. And she was kind of anxious when she first came here to be domesticated. But now she's learned to like it. We'll see how she does on that long trip to the Philippines. She will. The way they do it, there's a pet spa in Amsterdam, in Holland, the Netherlands, and they stop there, and then they let the dogs out and run around a little while. They have to walk them or something, and then they continue on to kind of break up the journey a little bit. But it seems strange to be heading east to go to the Philippines. You know, you got to cross the continent of Europe, I guess. That's a long way around, but that's the way. They use KLM Airlines, and that's the preferred one. Flying at night during this warm weather.
Yeah.
We got our sky channel and everything. But, yeah, so there's 4 days I'm in we're, after we finish our 10-day quarantine in Manila and then make our way to our house, then we have, there's some things I can do inside for the 4 days. I mean, I got to install the refrigerator, no big deal, and then also the oven, you know, they're just still sitting there in their packaging.
And Jody is working the package.
Yeah, and we filled up, how many boxes are in your parents' house? Like 24 or something, or more? 24, I think.
22 in the nanay house and 14 in my house.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and then we have more that are in transit. So.
Yeah, probably next month there have 8 boxes gonna be arrived.
Yeah.
And I sent in last 2 weeks ago. I sent another 6 boxes.
Yeah.
So and we have like 3 boxes left here.
Yeah. So when she started sending them, the new house was under heavy construction, so they took the boxes all the way. It's a 1,700 square meter property, so it's good size. At the parents' house, we had them build it. They built it in 2013, I think, after the Yolanda. They were living in Leyte, and their property there got destroyed. So we were tired of the typhoons. Balearin is a little more protected. So we went. First, they went to Cebu, right, to Mactan or someplace, and right after the storm, because there
1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent them to in Cebu.
Yeah, because that was they just traveled until they found a place that had electricity, and you know.
Right.
And so they had to leave Leyte and go across the water to Cebu. they stayed there. They rented a place for a month. But then I said, what are we doing? Why don't we put them on the property, in our property in Valerian?
Yeah.
And right then, we only had 850 square meters. We only had a single lot. The lot next to it, we found out it was for sale, so we bought that, so it's a double lot. And the single lot, we were kicking around ideas of building a house, but it would have to be a narrow house, you know, because the property is long, but it's narrow. But buying, it's only, at the front, it's only 13 meters wide.
Yeah.
But now it's, and it gets wider towards the back, but now we got a double lot, so it's no more problems. I mean, it's got plenty of room. And, but when, after 24 boxes had arrived, that's probably like three different shipments, then our house was, the living room was finished, and they started putting boxes there. And that's going to work out good because my HVAC tools are in that shipment.
Yes.
And I had we have a pretty cool foreman there, Lido. He was the foreman from the contractor, the construction of the house. So after the house was finished, we kind of kept him on, and he built me a workshop. I have a workshop here, and you know, I had so much stuff in it, you know, tools and stuff. I wanted to keep as much as I could, so
Yeah.
so I had Lido build me a workshop there. Well, of course, when Lido builds something, he don't mess around. It's only a 3 meter by 4 meter workshop, but it's got 6 posts and columns.
It's a very solid workshop.
Yeah, very solid. And,
With the hollow blocks.
yeah, if the typhoon comes, that's where we're going, in that workshop.
You go that way, I go in the big house.
Yeah, I guess the big house would be the strongest one because it has a 6-inch hollow block on the exterior walls, and they're 750 psi blocks, which are the good blocks.
Yeah.
4-inch blocks on the interior walls, and they're the 450 psi. They're the good 4-inch blocks. And yeah, you put a lot of steel bar and a lot of.
Yeah. Probably when we do another videos, maybe we're gonna share our house. The first starting to build that house that we have in the Philippines. So we're going to share that one here also. So right now we cannot do it because we need to have, you know, Filipino, like we need to have blessing first the house, and then that's the way we need to share your pictures of your house.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Yeah, next time for my video. So
And we'll do some from our quarantine
Yeah.
areas too. Hopefully we'll be able to stay in the same room. We're trying to work that out now.
Right. Yes.
If not, then that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So what about you, Tikla? You need to say anything, or you just only watching with the rain? The rain hard. She said, "Oh, I like
You
the
wanna
mommy
watch?
dog. I can smell it so bad."
Kitty, 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 kitty. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Okay,
Where's
honey,
the
we're
kitty?
gonna
Where's
say
the kitty?
goodbye, and we're gonna do the next video maybe tomorrow or following days. We'll see. Okay, thank you guys for watching us.
Okay.
For our video.
Yeah,
Good
thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Yeah.
You can turn it off. That one has come.
Okay, turn it off.